Hey, welcome back to another edition of a Brew for Two podcast, episode 65. I'm Brad with my co-host Eric
No.
here. We are not. We're still in lockdown, so we're still doing this via Google Meets.
Yeah.
So like yeah, it's I mean I like this podcast is supposed to be sounding exciting, but I'm supposed to sound excited, but really I'm not. It's usually I
Yeah.
brew for two, like we're having beers while doing the podcast, and
But it's
it's
like
all
I could have a beer. It's like 10 to 2 and I'm sitting alone in my room, so I
yeah,
feel very sad.
yeah. That's like we enjoy each other's company, have a beer, but like literally since this lockdown happened, I haven't had beer in like 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm still drinking, just not as much.
I don't know. I
Found a little
I
bottle
haven't had.
of Jim Beam apple. I had that and some iced tea
Yeah,
the other day and just played some video games, but short of that I haven't had a beer since the last time we hung out.
yeah.
So,
No, I haven't had a I haven't had a beer since the last time we hung out.
yeah.
Um, that being said, welcome to another edition of special lockdown. I don't know how long this is going to last for, but they're
Hopefully only
saying,
another 2 weeks. Hopefully.
yeah, Valentine's Day. So hopefully, we'll we'll see people back. We'll see people again on after the Valentine's Day long weekend.
Hopefully, unless
Um,
they decide to extend it again, which if they do, like people are gonna fucking lose their minds.
mhm. So have you been following that GameStop thing that's recently happened?
Yeah, the thing that I probably definitely should have invested in when like last year or 2 years ago, but didn't. Yeah.
Did you have an opportunity to invest in it?
Oh god, no, no. I wish I would have heard about it because I definitely would have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
Oh, everybody.
like 2 years ago, like I had a crap ton of fucking disposable income, so I would have put down like 5 or 6 grand in stocks,
Oh wow.
and I would be like I'd be a millionaire right now. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. No, I have no idea what's going on or how that stuff works, but apparently we have Reddit to thank.
Yeah, well, I guess the stock was like a buck or like a buck or $3 or something like that, like in 2019, because they were gonna go under. So people just bought the stocks like crazy, and then now they're worth that. Like at one point they were worth like $470 a share.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was just nuts. Some people made literally small fortunes off of it.
Yeah. Right. Like it's craziness.
Yeah,
Craziness. What's going on with you, man? What's going on with you?
you're looking at it, man. I have not been doing much of anything.
Oh,
Playing WoW and just going to work and coming home, and that's been about it. Slowly going crazy. Definitely need to see people soon because like this is just lockdown
yeah.
sucks. Like this is
Yeah.
just, at this point I'm just honestly gonna deem it unnecessary because this is like unnecessary for as long as it's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm. It's definitely unnecessary. Definitely unnecessary. Um.
like I know we had a spike in cases, but like because we were down to like 1,600, we had a spike up to 2,000 again. But that was
Mhm.
because of because again it's because of the retirement homes. Like that's the only reason why our cases keep going up now is because of retirement homes because everything's going down after the holidays now.
One of my coworkers over Christmas, she had a she works as a nurse as well,
Mm-hmm.
and her one home she works at had an outbreak of 14 cases.
Yeah, I don't get how these places keep getting these outbreaks. They're supposed to be like pretty like locked down places, and yet somehow these cases keep exploding in them. I don't like it. Doesn't make any sense in the
Well,
slightest bit.
there is a new strand out of coronavirus.
Yeah, but it's not.
There's that new strand that came out from Europe
Yeah,
or somewhere, um, which is able to like get you faster and like I don't know.
it's a little more contagious, but it's not. It's the same virus. It's just a little more contagious. That's all it is.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm almost done Supernatural, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done. I'm on season 14 now. Which now I'm just kind of like Okay, I'm almost at the end. I'm getting supernatural fatigue where I'm just
Well, you've
like,
been watching it straight for like what 3 weeks now, 4 weeks now. I don't even know.
I started watching it on Christmas, on the Christmas
Yeah,
holidays.
okay.
That's when
So
I
it's
started watching.
it's been like 5 weeks of you just watching
Yeah,
Supernatural.
yeah. I put it down every once in a while. I put it down every once in a while if there's something I want to watch on Netflix
Yeah.
or Disney Plus. I'll put it down. But other than that, I just kind of like, it's just like, there's nothing really else to watch. I know there's a new Netflix movie out called The Dig, which
Yeah.
seems interesting. My mom told me I should check it out. Um, so I'm probably gonna do that sometime in the next little while. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, but and like since my Xbox died weeks ago, I haven't. I That's all I've been doing is watching Supernatural, and I've had Pokemon Go open, playing Pokemon Go because I still play Pokemon Go. I know you don't anymore, but I still do. Um,
Yeah. I've completely just stopped playing that game. I don't think I've opened it in a few weeks now. It's been a little
do you still
while.
have it on your phone?
Hmm?
Do you still have it on your phone?
I still have it on my phone. Yeah. I just haven't opened the app in at least 3 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, but you still have an account because we're still
Yeah.
friends on your on our accounts. So,
Oh, well, I'll always have an account. It's just a matter of
yeah.
if I actually log on to it or not, right?
Well, you can like get rid of it and not play it for 2 years, and then download it again, and it will still have your information, which is
Oh, I know.
fantastic.
Trust me, I know. I did it in
Yeah,
2016.
yeah,
I stopped playing
yeah,
it, deleted it, didn't start it again until last year. No,
yeah.
year
Same with
before.
me. Same with
Yeah.
me. Well, I did haven't I never played it. I hadn't played it for 2 years, and then I decided to download it again because it blew up again. Kind of like it kind of had a resurgence
Yeah.
of the game, and then I'm just like, ooh, I could do more things now. Like you could do more things in the game. It's not just walking places. You can with the remote raid passes and stuff, but having I'm still having fun doing it, but it's just getting like now I'm just constantly waiting for new updates and stuff like that because it's kind of getting boring for me too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
No, especially
I'm
like
not,
once you catch almost every Pokemon, you've done all the tasks and everything. There's not really much else to do until they release more shit for you to do, right?
yeah. I got to level 40,
Yeah.
which is like kind of the next where it used to be the level cap in Pokemon Go, and then they increased the cap to 50.
Oh.
But now I have to do like I have to gain a certain amount of XP, but also do some tasks as well.
Okay.
So like the one thing is um like catch 200 Pokemon in a day.
That's an absurd amount of Pokemon in a day.
Well, really, if you really think about it, like
Well, I
I did
mean,
it.
if you're sitting there like for an hour,
Yeah.
like with an incense on or whatever, then I mean, you can probably catch quite a few, but you're not going to catch 200 in an hour.
An instance, an instance, I believe like 100 Pokemon will appear in an instance, I believe, or like
I think it's way lower than that. I think maybe 50.
no, you know what? I don't. It's around there because I had an incense going, but
Mm.
then like kind of took a nap in between my incense because I just kind of was falling asleep on the couch while my incense was going. So I'm just like I took a nap and like I caught quite a bit,
Yeah.
but like it's probably like 70. The number of Pokemon in an incense is probably like 50 range to maybe 75.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's not even close to 100. And
Um,
of course you got to take into the fact like you matter if you even catch all those Pokemon. Someone might be a little asshole about it. So like 200 just seems a bit much.
yeah. So and then there's power up a legendary Pokemon 20 times,
Okay. That.
which if you have candies, if you have lots of candies for the legendaries, that's simple. It's a simple task.
Yeah, it's no
And then the
problem.
other one is battle defeat 30 raids, and what and which is and the good thing about it though, it's not a timed research thing.
Yeah. Well, I'd hope
It's
not
not
because you
one
can't even do
time.
30 raids. Well, I mean, You could do 30 raids technically in a day. You could do more than that, really, if you wanted to, but.
Well, you would have to go into a heavy raid area like downtown Niagara Falls or downtown St. Catharines.
That's what I mean. Like, you could go from Niagara Falls to Thorold to St. Catharines to out to Welland, whatever.
Like,
and
if I was doing raids around here, I wouldn't be able to get 30 raids in a day.
I mean, there's probably 30 raid spots in Niagara Falls, but there's probably at least 30 raid spots in Niagara Falls.
More than that.
Yeah. But you can't. But I mean, unless you want to drive to all of them, like some of them you have to remote in. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But because my Xbox has been dead, I've been just playing Pokemon Go. Yeah. I'm just because there's sometimes I'm watching Supernatural and then I just check out of what I'm watching, and then because now it's just like I'm just like, okay, I'm almost at the end. Like, yeah. I don't like I'm almost on the last season. I'm on season 14, episode 15. I'm almost there.
Like, you only have one entire season to go.
Yeah. And like I told my sister, like, oh yeah, she's like, what are you watching? I'm like, no, just rewatching Supernatural. And I'm like, she's like, you're watching Supernatural? That's an epic binge watch. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, we've been going since Christmas.
Like, how many episodes are in a season? Like, around 23, 22.
Yeah, they're almost an hour long.
Except for season 3 when they had 18 episodes, but season 3 was during the writer strike of 2007. So I can understand why. A lot of shows suffered during that time. I know Lost also suffered. They did a shorter season. Season 4 had about the same episodes in it. Like, yeah. So they also suffered. So, yeah, and I think How I Met Your Mother also suffered during that. Didn't have a lot of episodes. There was a lot of condensed seasons in that time frame. But yeah, so yeah, and I told her that, and she was like, "Wow." And she's like, "What season are you on?" And at that time, I was on like season 12.
Yeah.
But now I'm on season 14. I got through season 13 pretty quickly, I would say. But now I just feel like it's like I'm just checking out.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, it's not much you can do, right? It's just.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since you've been watching it since like the beginning, right?
Yeah, I have. But yeah, I usually I do something else with my life, but since this lockdown, I haven't really.
Yeah.
Like this is when we do the podcast now, it kind of makes my day, because it's like, oh, something else to do.
Yeah, so some just from the different, just sitting around and doing literally nothing and not really talking to anybody and not really going anywhere thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something to do on a Saturday in the middle of the afternoon.
And I'm babysitting Gozer right now. I'm babysitting my sister's dog, and when I'm babysitting him, I have tons of stuff to do. He keeps me busy, so
yeah.
And it makes my like I said, we went for a walk. I walked him around our block, fed him, kind of played with him.
It gives you something else to talk to, I guess. You know?
Pardon?
Gives you something else to talk to.
Yeah, it really does. He's napping. He's taking a nap on my bed right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Just loving life. He loves it here. Loves it here. I got to see my nephew when I picked him up.
Yeah.
I got a smile out of my nephew. Because me and my sister were standing far apart, she told me to take off my mask.
Yeah.
And he actually got to saw my face of my long beard.
Oh yeah, because he's only seen everybody with masks on, right?
Yeah. So he gave me a big smile, which was nice.
Nice.
But he was more focused on about where Gozer was going. I guess my nephew is noticing Gozer now, because he's noticing. He's only 4 months old, and he's starting to notice, hey, there's a dog there, or hey, it's that mom's holding a phone.
Yeah.
Mom's taking a video of me. Oh, hey, that's my favorite toy. Like, he's starting to notice things. Which is great. Which is great for him.
Yeah.
But I gotta see a big smile on his face, and that kind of made me happy.
Nice.
But this long beard, I don't know how much. Hopefully the numbers are good. It come the Valentine's Day weekend, because
I hope so.
Because I want my barber to go back to a shorter look.
Yeah.
Like as much as I like the long look doesn't work for me. I don't think. Um,
I think it's all right, but yeah, no, I get it.
it just I don't think it because because it just might like it just all grows here,
Yeah.
but it doesn't grow. It just all grows in the front, but doesn't really grow in the sides too much. So it's very awkward. It's very an awkward looking long beard right now. It's not like the guys with the long beards that also have that perfect jawline along with their long beard.
Yeah.
It's no, it's just like it's yeah, it's I want it. I can't wait until I can get it trimmed again. And like I get about a lot of people asking me from work, it's like, why don't you trim it yourself? And I'm like, when it gets this long, you have to go to a barber.
And your barber
You
would
have
probably
to,
kill you.
yeah.
He'd be probably be very upset with you.
No, he wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
if you mess up trimming a beard, you have to shave it off. That's the thing. And there's lots when it gets to the length I have it, there's lots of room for mistakes.
Yeah.
Where like when you keep it short, there's not really so much room for mistakes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I'm waiting. I'm also waiting on a couple packages to come. I got a new beard comb because the beard comb I showed you the one day.
Yeah, I know. I thought you already got a new one. Or you the really tiny one, yeah, okay. So you ordered another one?
Yeah, which
Eh.
is like which is like a bigger one.
Which is a normal size comb instead of the baby
Yeah,
comb that they gave you.
yeah. Really, they called it a beard comb, but really, what it is a mustache comb because mustache combs are
Yeah.
usually that size.
It was a tiny little comb. It was funny.
It was, it was. Anyway, anywho,
Oh, did you hear
she
that Cloris Lackman died?
who
Cloris Lackman.
who is he?
She.
She.
She was at she's always like the German old lady and everything. Or the grandma and everything. For the longest time. She was in like Malcolm in the Middle and like uh one of my favorite movies, Beer Fest, in the Longest Yard. She's in a lot of shit. She died. She died a
Oh,
few days ago.
oh. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't recognize the name, so I didn't really look up what she was in.
If you've seen her face, you know exactly who it is. It's very very recognizable. Dude, she was. Do you remember Beer Fest at all? Did you ever see Beer Fest?
I think that was the one that was. Who are those guys again? They're
I don't
like
remember.
I've watched Super Troopers and Super Troopers 2,
Yeah,
and but I kind of missed Beer Fest. That's the one I
yeah.
missed from them.
She was a super pervy grandma in it and hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. Shall we get into some news?
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. So, so the first bit of news this week, um, Disney Plus is doing another. Disney Plus is doing another Monsters Inc. But it's going to be a show rather than it's, it's going to be a show rather than a movie. Billy Crystal has finally provided an update on Monsters at Work, the animated continuation of Monsters Inc. In the works at Disney Plus. See, Disney CEO Bob Iger first announced the project in 2017. Updates on the show's progress have been rather stagnant ever since, as last year didn't bring much news beyond the fact that recording on the show officially begun. Uh, it is indeed an episodic program, and that he will be back as Mike Wazowski, and John Goodman will also be returning as Sully Sullivan, along with Crystal and Goodman. It has been reported that the cast will include uh, the returns of Jennifer Tilly as Celia May, John Ratzenberger as the abominable snowman, and Bob Peterson as Roz. So remember Roz?
Oh yeah.
Mike Wazowski.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I remember in high school we had a librarian who talked exactly like this, and everybody just called her Roz,
Oh
and it was
God.
sad. It was so sad. I felt because I wasn't one of those kids because I wasn't a jerk, but
Oh, that's
but
nice of
all
you.
the jokes in my and all the jerks in my high school would walk by and be like and say Mike Wazowski in her nasally voice.
Oh God.
Newcomers to the franchise taking on the original roles for Monsters at Work include Ben Feldman from Superstore, Kelly Marie Tran from Star Wars: Last Jedi, Henry Winkler as Barry.
Oh God.
Henry Winkler from the show Barry. Sorry, Lucas Neff from Raising Hope, Alana Ubach from Coco, Steven Staten from Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and Aisha Tyler, the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Uh, Monsters at Work is set 6 months after the events of Monsters Inc., so it's going to be a sequel. Follows Tyler Tuskman, a recent Scare Major graduate from Monsters University, who now works as a mechanic in the facilities team with dreams of one day working alongside Mike and Sully. Um,
I'm surprised it took them this long to come back around to Monsters Inc. To be honest.
yeah, well, Monsters Inc. was kind of that thing that it was like, okay, it was great first off, and then they took like 10 years, like 15 years, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna make a prequel,
Yeah, Monsters
Monsters
University.
University, which also was funny.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. I'm
Mon-
just surprised it took them this long to come back around to making another one. You know, it's a good property. It's funny, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it because it's not really a
Mhm.
crazy story or anything.
No, it's not really a crazy story. It's just monsters at work, and who are monsters scared of? People.
Yeah.
Monsters are scared of people because there's a little girl in from Monsters Inc. called named Boo. If you haven't seen Monsters Inc., there's a little girl named Boo who stows away to the world of monsters and wreaks havoc, and then but yeah, I'm glad. And like Billy Crystal and John Goodman, they aren't really doing much nowadays.
I don't think they're really doing anything. I mean, I haven't heard of them doing anything, but I don't
Well,
think they're really doing much.
John Goodman. I don't know if the show's he's doing that sitcom The Conners,
Okay.
which was the revival of Roseanne, but then Roseanne
Yeah, didn't
got in
work out
trouble
too
for
well.
saying racist things about Obama,
Yeah.
and she got off her show, and then and then so he's on the Conners, I believe, and Billy Crystal. I think he's doing stuff with theater. But other than that, like, yeah, I think this is gonna be
Yeah,
a
like
good show.
Monsters Inc. was a fun time, so like I'm down for this.
Monsters Inc. was a fun time, and Disney Plus, Disney Plus is
It needs
slowly
originals.
making, yeah, Disney Plus is making originals that are going to be more than just Marvel and
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah, because that's all they have right now, right? So it's they
Yeah.
definitely need more than just those ones. Like,
Mm-hmm. Our next up, we're getting a Spy Kids reboot. Rebooting Spy Kids. Skydance Media has landed the rights to the franchise and plans to reboot it for modern audiences. Original director Robert Rodriguez is on board. Whether or not it will be connected to the original movies remains to be seen, but having Rodriguez on board in some capacity should give fans the original hope that this will be cut from the same cloth. Little has been revealed by way of specifics, but Skydance will be the primary studio behind the Spy Kids reboot, which Robert Rodriguez will write and direct. While plot details largely remain under wraps, it is said the new movie will revolve around the activities of a multicultural family. So they're keeping it woke. They're keeping it woke. Gone are the days of Carmen and Junie, and bringing in some new kids. They tried to bring in some new kids a couple years ago
oh,
when
this
they
is
did
the
Spy Kids 4.
Yeah,
But
all
that
the
was,
time in the world, wasn't it? Or was that something
yeah,
different?
Spy Kids 4 all the time in the world with
No, all the
the
time was a
girl.
different one. Spy Kids 4 was that Spy Kids 4 was something different. Or was that all the time in the world?
So there was Spy Kids, then Spy Kids 2, which was the island one where they go to the island
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And then Spy Kids 3, Game Over, when they get sucked into a video game. And then Spy Kids 4 is All the Time in the World,
Yeah.
where Carmen and Junie are no longer the main characters. It follows another family of, and the sister is played by that girl who's from Girl Meets World, and I don't know who else. Um, but it sounds like it will be good. Robert Rodriguez is back directing it, which, I mean, they could
Yeah,
have.
I don't think he did. He only he directed 4, did he?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that explains a
Which he
lot.
might have. I I think Robert Rodriguez right now has, like, he's kind of come back because he
I didn't
because
know he even left.
I believe he did an episode of The Mandalorian for season 2.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was. I think it was either the finale
Mm-hmm.
or the episode before the season 2 finale. And he's also, and there's the new Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie on Netflix right now.
It's on Netflix.
There's a new Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie
Oh
on
God.
Netflix. Yeah, they're adults and they're married to each other and they have a kid. And I haven't watched it because you know what, Robert Rodriguez's take on, like, the Robert Rodriguez Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I never was interested in it at all.
No, I
But
wasn't like. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't Spy
Spy,
Kids.
Spy Kids was my jam
Yeah.
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But, like, Shark Boy and Lava Girl was not my jam.
No,
At
no,
all.
100% not. No.
And then they tried to and then they tried to do something else. They tried to do another movie, and I forget what it was, but it was kind of the same kind of plot. I forget what that movie is. Oh, that's gonna bug me now. I'm gonna remember it after we're done recording.
Yeah, that's
But
usually how it happens.
it was kind of the same. It was kind of like the same as Shark Boy and Lava Girl, where this
Okay.
kid was in school and like chaos is happening around him. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it was. But yeah, but back to Spy Kids. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good time because, yeah, Robert Rodriguez is back. They're probably gonna have some child actors back, and maybe Cheech Marin will be back reprising a role.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe Danny Trejo as Machete will be back
Or
because
uncle or whatever. Yeah.
because Danny Trejo's character Machete, from Spy Kids, was the character from Machete Kills.
Yeah, which is just a weird universe to live in.
Weird universe. They're part of the same universe, the Robert Rodriguez universe. They were trying to get him to go to space at one point, but I don't think that ever happened.
Yeah, I don't know why they were trying that one, but
And it seems like it'll be very woke, because multicultural family. Like, when I first saw Spy Kids, I didn't realize that they were already a multicultural family. I just thought everybody was Spanish in that movie. I didn't know they were already a multicultural family.
I had no idea. I thought they were all just Spanish. That was about it.
Because Antonio Banderas is Spanish,
Yeah.
but his I believe his wife is just a Caucasian lady in that film.
I think so. Yeah.
Is an American. Yeah. Anyway. So that's the news for Spy Kids reboot. Pardon me, I have the burps. Next up, Indiana Jones 5. We got a little bit of news from Indiana Jones 5. So, a new installment of the Indiana Jones franchise has been long in development. Steven Spielberg originally attached to direct Indiana Jones 5, but was later replaced by James Mangold, who's best known for doing the movies Logan and Ford versus Ferrari. I've seen Logan, and that
Yeah,
was a great film,
yeah,
fantastic film, and it was just a western. It was a an X-Men western movie.
pretty much.
Um,
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to see Ford versus Ferrari, but
it's on
kind
Crave.
of to watch it.
It's on Crave. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. The filmmaker has been quite tight-lipped about what his take on the adventures of the famous archaeologist adventure will be like, but in a recent tweet, Mangold hinted that the setting of the film might be in the 1960s. So, as we know, Indiana Jones Raiders was based in 1936. Um, Temple was based in like 19. It was a prequel to Raiders, so I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't even know.
19 19 it, 1930 or 1930 or
I,
1930. It would be in
they're
the
they're all
decade
yeah,
30s.
yeah.
And Last Crusade was based in the 40s, so like 1940. I'm gonna say 1945 or 1944 because I remember the one joke. The enemy for the Last Crusade are Nazis.
Yes, yes, they
So
are.
Indiana Jones is fighting Nazis in the last movie.
Yeah,
And then the fourth one, which is the one that nobody really talks about, is based in the 50s. Um, and they really cement the 50s well. I mean, everybody's testing nuclear warheads, and because Indiana Jones survives in a
yeah,
fridge,
yeah. For a refrigerator.
he finds in a refrigerator
I love
and
refrigerator.
made out
Yeah,
of lead.
yeah.
And so yeah, he survives that, and that's based in the 50s, and everybody's testing nuclear war, and everybody's and like you have the outsiders and the jocks I mean, there's a big moat shot fight between the greasers and the
Yeah,
jock,
yeah.
and so
I don't know why
that
everybody hates on that movie. I didn't mind
I
Crystal
didn't mind
Skull.
it either. I didn't
I didn't
mind it
think it was.
either.
I didn't think it was that bad. Like it wasn't overly good, obviously, but it wasn't that bad.
But we're getting another one, and it's gonna be based in the 60s, which
I
makes
I
sense.
I assume Harrison Ford's gonna be in it, but like,
He is, but this is going to be his farewell movie. This is going to be his retirement movie. He's going to
yeah,
be retired after this movie. He's gonna, if you will, ride that horse off into the sunset and never
I
be seen.
I'll be
Never
honest.
be seen again.
I think he should have retired before this movie, and this movie shouldn't even be happening. But because the dude is not young, like he is.
No, he's in his 70s. Yeah, because he's like 12 years younger than Sean Connery.
He's 78. He's not young. Like he's not like, and him gonna be doing this movie. Like this
Well,
movie's enough for young actors, let alone somebody who's 78.
I think he's pretty much retired. But then he's like, but then somebody said like probably Indiana Jones 5 came across his desk, and he was like, "All right, one more movie, and then I'm done."
Yeah, it would have to been it because like before this would have just been Star Wars, right? That would have been the
Oh,
last thing.
he did a couple movies. Yeah, yeah. His last movie would have been Star Wars Rise of Skywalker because he was technically in that movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I
but
mean that should have been like where he retired. I think that should have been his last little hurrah in a movie.
yeah, but like there's always something going on in like around to kind of set the time period,
Yeah,
and I'm kind of curious of what is gonna be like. Oh yeah, it's definitely what's gonna be that moment where it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely based in the 60s because like I said, Indiana Jones: Last Crusade, you had Nazis, World War II. Uh, Indiana Jones: Temple of Crystal Skull, like I said, 50s. Uh,
yeah,
Jock,
whatever it was. I don't know who it was in the temple.
I don't know.
It was just some weird people trying to get the skulls to become all powerful and all the knowledge. I think it wasn't any
Yeah,
like faction. I don't think.
no. And like I think Raiders 2 was also Nazis. There was Nazis and Raiders as well.
I can honestly say I think I've never seen those movies besides Crystal Skull. I've seen them in passing, but I couldn't tell you really anything from them. Just one of those movies where it's like
So,
I
like,
think,
I can like what went on in the '60s. Like, I mean, you had the Vietnam War, I believe,
yeah, I
or
think so. I don't know. Yeah.
so you could you you could have Indiana Jones battling like Vietnamese.
Arvors in the '60s are just gonna say fuck it, and you're gonna have Indiana Jones have to go to the moon. So you know.
Uh, see, no, I
Oh, probably not. But that is a big thing that happened in the '60s. That's when man landed
yeah,
on the moon. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. And like, there's gonna be a passing the torch moment in that movie.
yeah, I'm
If he if
still
he
yeah.
like my gut tells me they're gonna have like another younger male actor play his like son. They tried to do that with Shia LaBeouf in Crystal Skull, but then after that movie, Shia LaBeouf kind of went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Which is
So
unfortunate because like I think he could have did well. Like he's a weirdly good actor. I don't know what it is.
yeah, yeah, he is a weirdly good actor. Actually, the MCU wanted him as a character, Shia LaBeouf as a character, but
Well, that would be
that
funny.
didn't. But anyway, so I'm wondering if they're either going to cast a male actor to play another Indiana Jones son because Indiana Jones is like a player, so he probably has tons of kids.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he's got kids all over the planet, more than likely.
Or they're probably going to take a different route and cast a young female actress to play Indiana Jones's daughter.
The way they do things in the movies now, and everybody has to be included. It's very possible.
And have his daughter wear the hat
Yeah.
and whip the whip. So who knows where this is going to go, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be starting soon, and we can't wait for it.
Yeah.
We got our next up. We got a release date for the Snyder Cut. It's coming soon. HBO Max has now confirmed Zack Snyder's Justice League will be released as a full-length Max original feature film when it premieres on streaming platforms on March 18th. This announcement came with the debut of 3 new teaser posters. The filmmaker took to Twitter on Friday to share 3 new monochrome posters for his version of Justice League captioned Fallen, Risen, and Reborn. The movie is currently expected to drop as a single feature with a 4-hour runtime, long movie, as Snyder previously suggested that his Justice League cut would be released as a one-shot movie, seemingly opposed to the limited multi-part series that was announced at DC Fandom last summer. So we got a release date, and it's going to be a 4-hour long movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can save it at all. Save that travesty of a movie.
Well, yeah. Well, we're gonna have like some more Justice League characters in it.
Yeah.
Than just the ones. I mean, Martian Manhunter's in it. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be wicked. As if he's going to be Martian Manhunter, who knows? Or is he just gonna be the guy?
Yeah, whatever his name was.
John Jones, who
Yeah.
knows? But we have a release date for it now, and who knows if we're probably gonna get it on either Crave or Amazon.
I would hope they just throw that on Crave because like this is where HBO Max is supposed to be, so it's like I mean, will I like resub to it? Probably not. I'll probably watch it at your house or something because hopefully we'll be on lockdown by then.
Yeah, lockdown would be over by then.
Hopefully.
I do believe that there is that clause which there's certain things that being released on HBO Max that we're gonna get on Crave, no matter what. And I think the Snyder Cut is one of those things.
Yeah, we also thought Wonder Woman was gonna be one of them though, right? Because like that was supposed to be on HBO Max, and then they're like,
but no,
nah.
no, the Wonder Woman thing was was supposed to be released in theaters, but then like like a couple months ago, Warner Brothers said, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna be releasing our content in on HBO Max and in theaters because theaters aren't making money right now."
Yeah.
So
And listen,
so
it got released on HBO Max, and it should have been released on HBO Max in Canada because they were going to be like, "No, we're not going to release it there." And then luckily, Amazon was like, "We got you, homie. Like, we got you." Like,
but
luckily,
but Wonder Woman because of that happened. That wasn't original. That wasn't a don't worry, Canada. You like it. It wasn't a thing like that where I believe when HBO Max was released last May, they said that like certain things will be available because I know the certain suit like the Green Lantern series coming to coming to HBO Max whenever that happens. That's gonna be on Crave. That's gonna be on Crave. So I do believe like we're not gonna be stuck with shit for that long.
I hope not.
We're gonna have some more stuff. We're gonna have some more stuff, but it's great that we finally got a release date and like we said, hopefully it comes to us. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping so.
As for sitting through a 4 hour long movie, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, I sat through the Irish. I kind of
yeah.
and came back to it, but like
I've sat through the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings before, so 4 hours is whatever. Like,
I am not entirely 100% sure I can do it,
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Rolling back to Disney Plus for a second, because Disney Plus needs more original content than just Marvel and Star Wars. We're getting a Cheaper by the Dozen reboot series. Zach Braff is going to be the dad in the series. So Zach Braff has joined the cast of the upcoming Cheaper by the Dozen reboot. The original Cheaper by the Dozen was released in 2003 and starred Steve Martin and Bonnie Hunt as Tom and Kate Baker, who try to navigate their respective coaching and writing careers while raising their 12 rambunctious children. 20th Century Fox film became a commercial success, grossing more than $190 million worldwide and spawning the sequel, Cheaper by the Dozen 2. Now that Disney owns 20th Century Fox, the Mouse House announced a reboot of Cheaper by the Dozen for Disney Plus, and it now appears to have found its lead actor to portray the comically overwhelmed patriarch. Deadline reports Braff will play the father in the reboot alongside Gabrielle Union. Set to debut in 2022 on Disney Plus, the film will be written by Blackish creator Kenya Barris and Jennifer Rice Genzuk. Let me say that again. Jennifer Rice Genzuk Henry, and creator and center on a multicultural family of 12. Another series being woke. Because in the first film, it was a Caucasian household with Caucasian actors, Tom Welling, Hilary Duff, and a couple of unknown. Those are the two main brothers and sister.
Yeah.
Two older brother and sister, and then there was a lot of other. I can't remember off the top of my head who was in that movie.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Jared Padalecki played an extra in that movie.
Did he really?
Yeah, he played a bully. He picked on Tom Welling.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, we're another series being woke, which is great because like it's great that we don't have let's just cast more white actors.
Yeah, I mean that's usually what happens, right? It's just, but now with the way the landscape is now, everything has to be.
Yeah, with the way the world works now, it's everything's just woke now, which is great, and like, and nobody is gonna bat an eye. Nobody's gonna no millennial better not being like, this kind of stinks because it's not Steve Martin.
I mean, I will be because it's like that's cheered by a dozen to me. That's Steve Martin. That was a hilarious fucking movie back in the day.
Yeah,
I don't really care they're making another one. I don't think this
yeah, I
movie
don't
ever
really care.
needs. I don't think this movie needs to be remade. But
It's not being remade into a movie. It's being remade into a Disney Plus series.
oh, then I definitely don't think it needs to be doing that because it's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird as a series.
Yeah,
And Zach Braff as the lead on
yeah.
it. I'm not a huge Zach Braff fan. I was never a big Scrubs fan, so
No, no. I don't think I ever. I think I only ever seen like those random clips of Scrubs on like YouTube and stuff.
yeah,
That's about all I've ever seen of his. So I don't even know what movie he's even been in, to be honest.
no. I think a lot of romantic comedies.
Oh, he was in Clone High.
As what? Who did he voice in Clone High?
No, he was in it though. It's a Canadian show, so I think he is Canadian.
He's an American.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he was Paul Revere.
Oh, there you go.
He didn't really have a role in Clone High. He was a guest on Clone High
Yeah.
because Paul Revere wasn't really that featured. He just kind of ran down the hallway yelling, "Gandhi has ADD! Gandhi has ADD!"
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine though. I mean, that was. It'll probably be okay. I don't know. I won't watch
So
it, but other people will.
what do you? So our next bit of news. What do you think about a Game of Thrones animated series?
I think it's a bit too late.
Well, it's happening.
Yeah.
An animated Game of Thrones series is in the very early development stages at HBO Max. No details available about what the focuses of the potential series would be, and no writers or talent are currently attached to the project. HBO Max has declined to comment on this news, but Variety exclusively reported last week that a series based on George R. R. Martin's Tales of Dunk and Egg is in the works at HBO. The series of fantasy novellas follow the adventures of Sir Duncan the Tall, so he would be Dunk, and young Aegon V. Targaryen, or Egg, 90 years prior to the events of Song and Fire and Ice, which served as the basis for Game of Thrones.
I'm trying to milk more stuff out of Game of Thrones. I get it. But
Like I like when like stuff like when stuff like this becomes like an animated series because they can do so much more with animation that they can't with real life actors.
oh yeah, but it's just I don't know if they.
Like when Supernatural became an animated series for a hot minute, um, like they like oh we're gonna do all of season one again, but we're gonna do all of season one, but we're gonna cut out a couple of episodes from season one.
Yeah.
And like the first episode of the animated series was like a like the Wandigo episode, and it was like they made the Wandigo look like awesome
Yeah.
in an animated series. So like so Game of Thrones animated series would be cool because like they would make the dragons look cool. The dragons would look awesome. Like the dragons already looked awesome in Game of Thrones,
I
but
know.
animated.
For me, it's one of those things. Like I love Game of Thrones, but I think the ship's kind of sailed. Honestly, at this point with Game of Thrones, like the last season just put such a bad taste in people's mouths that like I don't know what they're gonna be able to do to.
Maybe they're trying to make up for like, hey, remember, hey, I know we apologize for the last season, but we're gonna give you an animated series. It's gonna be great. Just bear with us.
Give me an animated series when he releases the book, the last book, and have it based on that. Just be able to do the stuff in season 8 you weren't able to do obviously in real life. Just do it animated. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like season 8 just left such a bad taste in my mouth. Like it's just I'm not even excited about this. It's like cool Game of Thrones. It got destroyed by HBO. So like,
Yeah. Yeah, which when you're faced with the last season, there's always gonna be a little backlash to it.
well, it would have
Um,
been backlash. Like they just like if he would have released the book like properly, like it would have been fine because we would have actually had the stories the way they were supposed to end.
yeah,
But instead, we
yeah.
got whatever that last season mess was that they decided, oh, we'll have some writers going on it and they'll just figure it out. Like,
Well, I think the writers at that point they were kind of having Game of Thrones fatigue, but they're also got money from Disney to do a Star Wars movie
oh
at
yeah,
that point.
yeah,
So they were
100%.
kind of rushing Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Um, but I was gonna do one more news thing,
Mm.
but I didn't know if it was fact or fiction.
Oh,
Because there's a rumor mill that there's going to be a Harry Potter series coming to HBO Max called Marauders,
yeah.
based and it's going to be based on uh, James Potter, uh, Lupin, um, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew. And it's going to be called the Marauders.
Yeah, I heard about. I think I had heard about this. Um, I personally think they should be doing something with them being Aurors after school with the original cast, but
Yeah, I always like we've covered this on a previous podcast. We talked about this.
we've talked about this multiple times.
Like I've always said, do a Degrassi style series, but base it in the Harry Potter universe, and just have like kids going to Hogwarts and going to classes and having drama in their life,
Yeah, it's cool.
and,
Yeah, that would be
and
cool too.
have like so and so cheat on so and like teenage melodrama that shit.
Yeah, like
Like,
that would be cool. Again, like there's that, and there's also like just a continuation of like them being Aurors and stuff after school.
but you could do that series with and base it in like and
Yeah,
base it
you
in
couldn't do those two together though. Like it would have to be an exclusive thing. Like either it's all Aurors stuff, or it's like you're in the school.
like. But if they did it, who would be the villain?
Oh, I don't know. Like
Like, who would they?
there's still Death Eaters out there. There's still bad people out there. The Aurors just don't hunt. Like we're just there for Voldemort, right?
Oh, I was kind of more talking about if they did the Marauder series based on
Oh,
James.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, because Voldemort is gone.
Well, they wouldn't have to.
Like,
It would just be a Degrassi type series, right? So it really wouldn't be a bad guy. It would just be Degrassi with magic,
it's true. It's true.
right?
Like, like freaking, Lily. Like Lily's hanging out with Snape, and James doesn't like this, so he kind of like teenage melodrama for the win.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
Because who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't put it in because I didn't know if it was fact or fiction. I saw a news
Far,
article, but then another news article saying no, that from HBO Max saying no, this is not happening. But then
as far as I know, I'm pretty sure it's fiction, but I definitely heard that too. Like they were in talks about something Harry Potter, possibly.
Yeah,
But we just don't know yet, obviously.
yeah, we don't know yet. That wraps up our news portion of the podcast. Now we're gonna segue to on this day in film and television history. And so in on this day in 1933, Lone Ranger begins a 21-year run on ABC radio. So Lone Ranger, they made a movie of that. He was kind of they kind of made Disney made a movie because they wanted to make it like the new Pirates of the Caribbean, and it starred Johnny Depp as Tonto and Army Hammer as Army Hammer. You know, the guy who eats people
Yeah.
as the Lone Ranger. And uh, and in 1978, on this day, Mutual Broadcasting Network begins airing Larry King Show on the radio.
Hmm.
So
There you go.
yeah, yeah.
That much.
Pretty much it for on this day.
Yeah, not much going on in games. 21 years ago, The Sims got released on PC. The first
Wow.
Sims game, so.
Wow, you weren't a real Sims player unless you killed your Sims.
Yeah, or like trap them in the pool out back and took the ladder out.
Oh, I did that all the time. Just
Everyone
like
did.
swim,
Everyone
swim,
was so fucking sadistic back in the day. It was hilarious.
or like build a house and then put fireworks in the house, and then like,
Or build a house with
but
no windows or doors.
nah, there would be windows and doors, but like there would be windows and doors, but I would just never make my Sims go out the door. Like, and I'll be like, hey, launch that firework, and they would be like, okay, and
Yeah.
then it would fall down and create a fire, and then I'll be like, hey, walk into the fire, and they would walk into the fire because you could do that.
Yeah.
And then they would die, and then the Grim Reaper would come. The Sims version of the Grim Reaper would come, and then there would be an urn. But the real trick was to get your other Sim family member to stop crying at the gravestone that's planted in the middle of the. Like they would always walk by and cry, and they'd be like, "No, launch another firework.
Yeah.
Let's play Survivor, Sim Survivor."
Yeah, exactly.
But that was always a fun game. Also, it's Gene Hackman's 91st birthday today, so
Jesus.
happy birthday, Gene Hackman, who was the original Lex Luthor in the 1970s Superman film.
Yep.
So happy birthday to that guy. We don't usually do the birthdays, but I just feel like that was noted.
Yeah.
And with On This Day done, the news finished. That is it for another edition of A Brew for Two. Hopefully, maybe come Valentine's Day, we'll do this outside of Google Meets. Maybe I'll probably get my microphone back. My microphone is still in the same spot. It's never left that same spot.
There's no reason for it to move, right?
So, but anyway, this is another edition of A Brew for Two, episode number 65. I'm your host, Brad. That's as long Derek is here too.
Uh-huh.
And you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. At Facebook, just type in A Brew for Two on the search bar. Instagram, it's at A Brew for Two podcast, and Twitter at A Brew for Two.
Yep.
You can follow me at AGingerFin92, or you can follow Derek at
King Derek on everything.
And with all our plugs done, the news done, On This Day done, plugs are done, we are now done. So we wish you a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya.
See ya.